Yeah, so in order to share some context and value to the information that we're going to be sharing, I want to begin by saying that we're in the information age, and there's information that comes from all corners. Everyone has something to say, everyone has something to share. Um, there's always an opinion out there about everything that's going on. And oftentimes it can create a lot of noise, and information that really has value and meaning that can truly change our lives can get lost in all of that clutter. I want us to know upfront that this information is not among the clutter. This information is the one that's truly going to be impactful to our lives. Why? Because this information is information that's going to change the world. That's not me saying that, and that's not my opinion. That comes from the highest levels of authority in the financial world. It comes from the highest levels of authority in to do with finances and banking and anything to do with the financial system that runs our world. It comes from the highest authorities. Now, I have a perspective on that I'm going to share with us that's going to make this evening even more meaningful and more valuable. And how I want to frame it is this. I want us to think about what we're going to be talking about is literally world changing. It is something that's going to change the whole world. And by extension, it's going to change our life because we are going to be impacted by it because it's going to change the world. And because of its significance, because of its relevance, and because of its magnitude, but more so because it is unfamiliar to most people, a lot of it, it may not be received openly, and it may be received with some skepticism. And that's okay. That could be a healthy thing. But here is my encouragement to you. If everything that I share with you doesn't quite resonate with you, I want to encourage you, please explore beyond this evening's presentation. Please, I'm not saying that you have to openly accept it. I'm just saying be discerning enough and be willing to explore so you could understand. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it is not if we are going to participate in the change that's going to happen globally because of how the financial systems are changing. We are going to participate whether we want to or not, because it is going to be an entire global shift. That is not readily evident at this point, but it is taking place right now. And to reference that, I want us to think about two things that we are using right now that sometimes we can take for granted. One is electricity. That's powering whatever device we might be using right now. It's powering my computer. It's lighting the room that we're in. But there was a time back for centuries where the only light that we knew for lighting rooms in our homes and for lighting spaces was a candle or an oil lamp. And when in the late 1800s, electricity and the light bulb came along, can you imagine that a time came where someone demonstrated to the world that if you flick a switch, you can now light a room? One would have thought that that would have been embraced right away because it was a significant shift from a candle or an oil lamp to now here was this marvelous thing that seemed unbelievable that can now light spaces all across the world. But it took 50 to 60 years before it was considered to be absolutely essential and the world adopted to electricity. And I'm saying that because that's the pattern of how when something is so unfamiliar to us, it requires a shift in perspective for us to really catch up with it. And here we are sitting in our homes in different places in the world. I'm coming to you from Texas this evening. And we can all connect via this thing called the internet. And when the internet first came out, the same thing happened. It was the same pattern of thinking. People thought, well, it's not really essential. That's something for businesses to use. That's not something, it's not practical for the average person to use now today. Can you imagine the world functioning without the internet or without electricity? And the reason why I bring this reference is because this is the same magnitude of a shift that I'm talking about. Not everyone is going to see it because the same pattern of thinking is going to apply where our perspective is going to have to catch up. During the electricity and the internet age, there were those who saw the value beyond. And so that's why I'm encouraging you that you have to be willing to explore because there is value beyond what I'm going to share with you. But what I'm talking about, it is as world changing as electricity and the internet. That may not be evident now, but you're going to see. So that's why this is very, very important and why I'm excited about what we're going to share. So I'm going to, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to begin the presentation. The presentation will contain a few videos to help me to bring context, understanding, and relevance to what we're talking about. They're all quite short videos, probably less than 2 minutes. And at the end of the presentation, you're going to have an opportunity to ask any questions. So let me just go straight into sharing the presentation now. This is a code that's really worth pondering on because when it comes to money, having the right relationship with money and understanding the value that it brings to our life in terms of aligning with our purpose, it's really, really important. Now, you are free to take notes, free to take screenshots as we go along, which would be a good idea because the information is going to be worth going over again. It is important that I put this disclaimer here because we are talking about money, we're talking about finances. I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a financial consultant, and I am not giving any advice to anyone. I'm giving information so people can make informed decisions. And so we have entered a new era. And we are in the dawning of this era. It's not ahead of us, it's not beginning, it has already begun. It's been going on for some time now, but we have just reached a point where it is going to be significant shifts and changes taking place that the world is going to take notice. Nevertheless, a lot of people around the world are going to wake up one day and find themselves in the midst of the change already. And because the change is so unfamiliar, many will find themselves really scrambling to try to catch up. Just like today, many still have not yet caught up to the value and the magnitude of what the internet means to our lives. And if I'm to give a theme or a topic that covers what we're talking about, it's empowering financial independence. Now, we have heard terms like that before. We have been part of opportunities that have been presented to us about promising financial independence. But I want to say to you, throughout all of my years as an entrepreneur and of owning businesses and being in business over the years, being involved in different projects over the years, I have never been associated with one that truly where this that offers financial independence. And it's happening in a way that was not available to the average person before. Why? Because this new era is not just about the global financial system changing, it is about what it means for our lives. And what it means for our lives is far deeper than it appears on the surface. The digital revolution is not primarily about the change of currency. It's more about agency. Now, what I'm going to go through this evening, if you were to take away anything, take away what I'm going to talk about on this slide, if anything at all. The world, those who are in the space of the world, the financial world, they are very aware of this shift that is taking place. And what people are looking at is how money is changing, how systems are changing, and how this digital age that we are in is reshaping the whole world of finance. What very few are talking about is that below that surface of money and currency, it is about how it's going to impact your life and my life individually and personally. And this is important because what is presenting and offering to the world has never been this way any time in history. That's why the magnitude of this shift is so significant. It is moving away, and you're going to have to hear this over and over again until it starts to sinking. But this digital revolution is shifting and redefining how you and I are going to function in this world because it is moving away from you and I having to just trust institutions that govern over our affairs financially to trust in systems. That we may get a glimpse of that as we go through. It is moving away from given permission to participate, to be involved, to contribute, to the freedom to do so without permission from an authority that governs over the financial system. It is a move away from institutions and authorities having central control to what is called decentralized ownership. This is a whole redefinition of the landscape of individual participation, or when we now have agency to be involved in such a way that we never did before. What we need to understand is what that is going to mean for you and I as it relates to our financial security, our financial stability, and our financial futures. Because what is presenting to us, the world has never had this opportunity before, because nothing has ever hit the world that has presented it before. It is not about the form that money is taking. Everybody is focusing on that. But it's reclaiming the freedom to choose how you're going to participate, to choose how you're going to be involved. It is the freedom to create value in ways that was not available before. It is the freedom to contribute in ways that we could not have contributed before, to add value and meaning to our lives and to the world. So you see, digitizing finance, it changed the way money is being spent. Most of what we do is digital today by cards. But the digital economy, it's now digitizing ownership and autonomy. And that's what I want us to get out of this evening more than anything else. And this is the new architecture of how wealth is going to be created. Wealth is not going to be created in this new economy the way how it has been in years gone by. And that's the shift in perception that is going to be required for us to be able to participate in this world, this emerging world, in the new ways, because it now is giving us ownership in ways that we never had before. And this whole ownership, which is going to be global and accessible to every human being, believe it or not, this is what's going to start dissolving poverty. That is the massive and the magnitude of the shift that we're talking about. This democratized ownership, which is now available to all, it is now channeling income and opportunity directly into communities, and it is now redistributing wealth. And this is what people are not looking at. And it's not redistributing wealth from the top, from those who have, down to those who are struggling to get. That's not how it's redistribution. The redistribution of wealth is coming through our participation from the inside out by being able to participate in the same way that the 1% can, we now can. And we never had that opportunity before. So what we are This global shift that's taking place is now making it possible for everyone to become wealthy, those who can see it. And it's not about the opportunities and who have and who can say, who says I can or I can't. It's not about that anymore. So I'm going to start with this first video. It's a generic video from YouTube, but it really paints the picture and sets the foundation for all that we're going to be talking about. Listen carefully because this is exactly where we're at.
Forget everything you thought you knew about money. We're living through a quiet revolution, a moment where the very definition of value is being rewritten. The world is tokenizing, and money, believe it or not, is just the beginning. When most people hear crypto, they think of Bitcoin, a digital currency floating in cyberspace. But that's like looking at the invention of the internet and only seeing email. What's truly happening is far bigger, far more profound. We're witnessing the birth of a new digital layer for our entire economy. This isn't just about digital cash. Imagine owning a fraction of a skyscraper in Tokyo, a piece of a Monet painting, or even a share in a forest that generates carbon credits. This is the promise of tokenization. We're taking real-world assets, real estate, art, intellectual property, you name it, and transforming them into digital tokens that live on a blockchain. These aren't just JPEGs. They're digital twins of physical things, carrying ownership rights, history, and value. Suddenly, assets that were once illiquid and exclusive are becoming divisible, tradable, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It's the democratization of ownership on a scale we've never seen before. So, how is this all possible? The engine driving this transformation is blockchain technology. But let's be clear, blockchain isn't just a fleeting trend, it's a fundamental infrastructure shift, as significant as the railways or the internet itself. Think of it as a new financial architecture being built right under our noses. For decades, our financial system has been a patchwork of slow, expensive, and centralized databases. Blockchain offers a different model, a shared, transparent, and immutable ledger. It's like upgrading from a horse-drawn carriage to a high-speed magnetic levitation train. We're building digital bridges between the old world of finance, Web 2, and the new decentralized world of Web 3, creating a system that's more efficient, transparent, and interconnected. This new architecture brings with it a new set of rules and a fundamental shift in power. In this new world, ownership is becoming programmable. Through something called smart contracts, self-executing agreements written in code, we can define exactly how an asset behaves. Imagine a share of stock that automatically pays you dividends, or a digital concert ticket that grants you access to exclusive content after the show. Your digital identity can be verified instantly without relying on a central authority. This isn't just about buying and selling. It's about embedding logic, rights, and rules directly into our assets. It's a world where the code is, quite literally, the law. Power is shifting from intermediaries to individuals. So, the billion-dollar question is, who wins in this massive transition? It's not just the early crypto adopters or the Wall Street giants. The winners will be those who can bridge the gap, the ones who understand both the language of capital and the logic of code. They are the new hybrid investors, the digital architects who can see the connections between traditional markets and this emerging token economy. They'll use sophisticated AI-driven tools to navigate this complex landscape, managing portfolios that seamlessly blend stocks, bonds, and tokenized assets. This isn't about choosing one world over the other, it's about mastering both. The ability to speak both languages, finance and technology, will be the defining skill of the next generation of wealth creation. But let's not get carried away by the hype. This new frontier is exciting, but it's also fraught with risk. With great power comes great responsibility, and decentralization without sensible guardrails can quickly lead to chaos. We've already seen glimpses of this: dramatic flash crashes on unregulated exchanges, billions lost to hacks, and protocols collapsing overnight. The speed of innovation is far outpacing the speed of regulation, creating a Wild West environment where investors are vulnerable. Security is a constant battle, and the promise of a trustless system still relies heavily on the integrity of its underlying code. Navigating this world requires not just optimism, but a healthy dose of skepticism and a deep understanding of the potential pitfalls. This is more than just an investment trend. It's the future of our financial system taking shape in real time. The rules are being written right now, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Understanding this new system isn't optional anymore. It's essential for anyone who wants to protect their wealth, seize new opportunities, and have a say in the financial world of tomorrow. This isn't a game you can afford to sit out, because whether you participate or not, this new system is being built around you.
It's not a system that's optional anymore. And we're going to see why it's not optional anymore. You kept hearing the term a tokenized world, tokenization. This new world has a language of its own that we are going to, as time go by, is going to become more and more commonplace. The world is going to evolve from economics to tokenomics. It's going to evolve from being online to being on chain, because Web3 is the evolution of the internet onto being run completely by blockchain technology. The whole world knows that that's what's coming, and it has already begun. And it's about how to bridge these two worlds. And that's what we're going to be talking about, and what it means for you and I to be able to bridge these two worlds and participate in this new emerging world. But what has made it possible and why it's no longer an option is because of something that happened this year, which some may be familiar with, some may not be familiar with. And these are two shorts that will give us an idea as to what that really means. Earlier this year, regulations caught up with the innovation, and there's no legislation, there's no law, there's no regulatory compliance that has now made this new shift possible when the current US President, Donald Trump, signed into law what is called the Genius Act that opened the door that the financial world has been slowly, quietly building over the last decade and a half, waiting for this moment. For those who are not aware of that, just listen to this short. It will bring us up to speed.
This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act. I pledge that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins.
This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. We have a deal maker in chief, and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump.
With today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
Now, the next short here is going to be some of the leaders in this space, some of the visionaries who can see what this means for what lies ahead for us. And then we're going to talk about what it really means for you and I individually as it pertains to our financial future.
My name is Michael Miebach. I'm the CEO at MasterCard, and we just witnessed the signing of the Genius Bill.
This is really the beginning of a financial revolution here in America. With the passing of this, we've got crypto stablecoins now that can be built right here in America to make every payment fast, cheap, and more global.
It enables us to upgrade the financial system, make it fairer, more accessible.
The president was able to achieve one of the most important changes in the legal framework in the United States to allow the creation and the safely usage of stablecoins.
This is going to mean fantastic benefits for individuals and businesses around, and looking forward to the great results for crypto and for the U.S.
This is a great day for crypto. This is a great day for the U.S. dollar, and it's a great day for America.
This is foundational legislation, foundational regulation that is going to unlock the power of the internet in rebuilding the financial system.
Not only that, but it positions the U.S. as the global leader in this new digital assets industry, which I think is incredibly important.
My name is Michael Miebach.
This is what it means for you and I, and this becomes clearer as we explore further and further into what this whole new digital economy means. For you and I, it means we have expanded earning potential that we didn't have before because of this whole digital world and this tokenized system. It has created income streams that did not exist before that we all have access to. It means that we have financial autonomy, and what that is really saying is that we get to determine how we earn money. It is no longer determined by someone who decides what your salary is going to be or what your value is worth. In this new world, that does not apply as much as it did in the world as we know it now, which is shifting away from that. You get to determine how money is earned because of ownership, because of autonomy. You get to determine where your money will go, how it is used, and you get to determine how much it grows, how fast it grows. You have the type of flexibility that we never had before, both of us. That may sound unreal, but that's the world that we're going into. And then what it presents for us is generational wealth. People talk about generational wealth, but very few ever see the reality of that. Because of digital ownership, not only are we able to see exponential growth in terms of what we are capable to achieve financially, but it happens in enduring forms that will outlive us because of this digital landscape that we now get to function within. How is it all possible? Because cryptocurrency, which once was some mysterious anomaly floating in cyberspace that had no value to the average person, it's now legal tender. And by law, every bank in the United States and across the globe now have to participate in this. This is the beginning of a shift that you and I are going to be a part of. The world is not ready for it, but it is upon us. And because of this, it is about to shift into high gear. Now, let me share what it means for us, because what this ownership really means for us. All crypto transactions happen on a blockchain network, which is the future of the internet. That is simply a decentralized, distributed, or a shared ledger secured by a network of what they call CPU nodes, which is just digital software. They collectively validate, secure, and record all transactions that take place with digital currencies. CPU nodes, they validate, secure, and record transactions that take place on every single blockchain platform that exists today.
Nodes.
What is good about that for us is that CPU nodes that maintain all blockchain networks, they are fractionally owned by individuals. Why? Because it's a decentralized, distributed system. It cannot be owned by a central authority. It is owned by tens or hundreds of thousands of people that own the network. In essence, the network is owned by a global community. That's important for us because of this decentralized world. We get to participate in owning the system that governs global finance. Now, for some people, that may not strike a chord, but that's a huge deal because we get to participate in the financial system at a level that was out of reach for the average person. How is that possible? By owning these software, by owning the nodes that maintain the network. Here's give us an understanding of what that is.
The unsung heroes that tirelessly support blockchain infrastructure and lets all blockchain systems keep themselves in check. Think of them as the backbone of the blockchain. Networks require decentralized validation to ensure the security of transactions, where a decentralized network acts as a safeguard. Curious to learn more about how an everyday individual can participate in decentralized finance as a banker? That's where Miracle comes in. Node investments can be your ticket to passive income. As transactions flow through the blockchain, you, as a node investor, earn a share of the pie. It's a revolutionary way to make your money work for you, without the need for constant oversight. Our new products, Node and Leveler, are designed to make you a first mover in the world of blockchain investment. Embrace the future with Miracle, where Node, Phoenix, and Leveler work together to mitigate fluctuations. Your future starts here.
So by owning a node, we now own part of the infrastructure that helps to run and secure blockchain transactions made by any crypto transaction done anywhere in the world. Now, why would this be different? If this is the case for all blockchain platforms that's out there, why would what we're talking about be different? Well, it's as different as day and night, what we're talking about, because while this system was being built around us for the last decade and a half, there is a company for the last 8 years have been quietly building a system that actually bridges the old with the new. It bridges traditional finance with this new digital economy. And it's doing it in a way that the world needs, but it's not accessible to us to be able to do so at this point in time. To understand and to get an idea of the difference of what this means for you and I, let me go to the next slide and listen to just this short. This short where Kevin O'Leary, many of you might know him from Shark Tank, people call him Mr. Wonderful. He's talking about the future of AI and crypto and what that means. But he makes a point that distinguishes all crypto platforms from the crypto platform or the blockchain platform and the decentralized system that we're going to be talking about. He makes a very important statement that really distinguishes them.
Kevin, help me understand how revolutionary this is for the economy, but not just the economy, because the economy feels far away. Like how we live, how we pay for things, how we go about our life.
So in the last 9 months, lots has changed. Number one, we had regulation on stablecoins, which is effectively digital payment systems. That's very important. It's now law and legal. Number two, we've been talking about putting Wall Street onto blockchain for 12 years. It's never happened because there's never been a good use case to do it. And nobody wants to rebuild the infrastructure on compliance on Wall Street until now. Now, let me give you an example. If you think about now that digital payment systems are legal, and let's talk about a use case for consumers, your phone. Now, if you could be right beside your favorite coffee shop or pizza joint or burger joint and simply say, large Mac, mac and cheese, fries, that's it. That's all you have to say. Now, why will that work? Because your phone, through AI, knows where you are. It knows where they are. It has a digital payment system on chain, and it sends that $4 order in a nanosecond right to the register there. They know who you are, so when you walk in a minute and a half later, you pick up your burger or your slice or your coffee or your groceries or your dry cleaning or anything you want. The only thing holding us up on this vision, but believe me, there's a lot of people trying to solve for this, is the blockchain itself. Ethereum, everybody knows that name, and Solana is also popular over the last 3 years. They're too slow because you're going to be doing 100 million transactions around the world every minute. And that's going to get very stuck on those chains. And that happened a couple of weekends ago in Ethereum when all of a sudden it was just a mess when they had a big correction in the digital markets and the crypto markets. So we've got to build off that, and that's coming soon.
Well, that coming soon is here now. The blockchain platforms that currently exist, Ethereum and Solana being among the most popular that businesses around the world use their platform, they are too slow. You literally need to be able to do a couple of things. One, you need to be able to bridge the old and the new, where regardless of what type of cryptocurrency you're using, it needs to be able to transact at any point of sale or on any online platform in the world. And it needs to be able to do that seamlessly, and it has to happen immediately because of the nature of cryptocurrencies, which can change, the value can change very quickly. It also needs to be a system that can handle millions of transactions per minute, because the whole world is transacting millions of transactions per minute. Current systems do not have that global interoperability nor that speed until now.
But
Let me introduce you to a company. It's called Metaterra. Metaterra is the umbrella company for Miracle Technologies, which is a global decentralized finance ecosystem comprising of 24 companies. They run on their own native blockchain called Miracle Chain, and they have their own stable coin, which is the lifeblood of their ecosystem, and it's called the Phoenix token, which is a stable coin, a cryptocurrency. Now, we're not going to be able to talk about all about Miracle Technologies and all that they comprise of. But for our purposes this evening, we're going to talk about 3 aspects of their ecosystem: Miracle Cash and More, Miracle Pay, and Bellator. 3 subsidiaries, if you want to call them that, within Miracle Technologies under the umbrella of Metaterra. Metaterra is a holding company that is governed by some very outstanding global leaders in their own right. And I'm not going to spend time going into all of them, but some of you in the financial world may know them. Hakan Torhan is the visionary behind it, and he's a banking pioneer. The chairman of the board is Douglas Anderson, who is an icon on Wall Street. He's the CEO of Wall Street Capital Partners. And the board of directors is a distinguished lineup of people who are seasoned in this area of technology and finance. Some of you may be familiar with John Bear. It is his technology that is behind cell phones, streaming technology, and even the backbone of Google. Some of you may know Stephen Moore, who's a global economist. He was part of the first Trump administration, an economic advisor. Monica Prophet, she's a blockchain specialist. She wrote the first book, Blockchain 101. Stephen Norris, I'm not going to spend any time to go through all of them, but very distinguished gentleman that built, runs, guides, and expands this across the globe. The global footprint of the company spans 13 different countries. They are regulated and licensed by MiCA, which is the European equivalent of the US SEC, and they have physical crypto stores in Amsterdam, Berlin, and North Cyprus, and they're gradually expanding these crypto stores where a person can literally go in and exchange fiat for crypto or crypto for fiat. Currently, when you heard about the tokenized world, the company is currently involved in the two major projects, the first of their type in the world. Something called Phoenix Hera is a resort and casino, which is a fully cryptonized project. And recently, they got the approval to begin building the largest airport in Europe, which is going to be in Bucharest, Romania. And it's the first of its type tokenized project in the world. What does that mean? It means that this airport and the city around it is not going to be owned by big multi-billionaire investors who come in and invest in the project. Tokenized mean it's going to be owned by maybe hundreds of thousands of people who all own a token. So for example, it may be 1 million tokens, each valued at a particular amount, and you can purchase a token, which means you own a piece of that airport. So the 40 million passengers that pass through, all that is being run through the city, all that is happening, you get to earn and benefit from all the revenue and whatever profits run from that. So that is the tokenized world that we're talking about. So imagine, I mean, just as it comes to my mind when I talk about tokenization, imagine that you got a brilliant idea that can solve a major social problem that no one has ever thought about, an inspired idea. Would you go onto the internet and put that idea on social media and say, here's the idea that will solve this particular social malady that the world faces? Chances are you wouldn't, because someone who may have the wherewithal may take that idea and they will create a business for themselves or whatever. In this world, you can actually tokenize that idea and create value out of it. And that idea can now be worth $1 million that someone will actually pay you to be able to create this project because they see the value in it, which in today's world, someone will just take it, do it, and you could just lose on your idea. That's what tokenization is. Bellator, the head office is in Dubai, but the global footprint of Metaterra and Miracle Technologies today, it spans these 13 countries, and they are growing. When it comes to Miracle Cash and More, this is the core of the Miracle platform. This unites all of the financial technology sectors that runs the entire ecosystem right here. And this is the bridge between financial systems and the emerging digital economy. It translates the strengths of both worlds into a single seamless experience. This is what the world is ready for. This is what is lacking. And Miracle, having been building this for the last 8 years, is now presenting to the world the technology and the wherewithal to be able to bridge the old and the new together. And so the stability of the familiar fiat rails and the speed, transparency, and the efficiency of the digital world has now come together through Miracle Cash and More. They have their own, what they call in the banking world, their own financial switch, the hub that runs and governs a global economy. When it comes to Miracle Pay is a platform that's revolutionary, that offers a payment system, a payment gateway to the world in a way that never existed before, where you can use your phone, you can tap your phone, you can swipe a card, you can insert it, and it doesn't matter what cryptocurrency you use, nor does it matter what fiat currency of the country you're in. It makes an instant conversion, a system that's ready for today's world but never existed before. And so it offers merchants, businesses, this versatile gateway to accept payments in both fiat and cryptocurrencies. And so it creates this holistic solution that meets the needs of what the world is looking for today.
Let's rewind thousands of years to a time before money existed. How did people pay? A sack of wheat? Some heavy metal? Or maybe a live chicken? Trying to fit a chicken in your wallet? Not ideal. Luckily, financial revolutions followed one another, bringing us to the present day. And today, a new revolution begins. Miracle Pay. So, what is Miracle Pay? It's your innovative, secure, and transparent way to accept payments in any cryptocurrency. Why blockchain? Because it's decentralized. No more bank bureaucracy, no more endless paperwork. And security? It's not controlled by a few guys in a suit. It's secured by hundreds of millions of people across thousands of nodes worldwide. With Miracle Pay, you can get paid anywhere. Whether you're selling ice cream on a glacier in Alaska, or selling hot tea in the middle of the Sinai Desert. We might question your business model, but never your payment system. 24/7 security, 99.9% uptime, and support for over 100 wallets. Miracle Pay is your trusted blockchain partner. Join Miracle Pay today. Integrate the future of payments into your business right now.
Now imagine that we are at the dawn of this new era of where the entire global financial system, from the World Bank to the IMF to all the way through, are all shifting into this. They're now going to be evolving into this system. And we now have law, we now have regulation, we now have compliance. Cryptocurrencies is out of this, out of the shadows, so to speak. It's no longer the wild, wild west. And along comes Miracle Technologies under Metaterra, a global fintech company that has brought a solution. And because it's in the decentralized world, you and I, we get to own part of this financial system. How? Through becoming node owners. I want to know, I'm going to show you in a minute what that really translates into for us. But just to expand the perception a little bit further so you can understand the economy that we're looking at, what Miracle has also done is that they has secured contracts with 4 of the global payment providers in 120 countries. These are the 4 providers. When you go into a store, a restaurant, a gas station, anywhere, and you insert your card, you swipe your card or you tap it, you may not pay attention to the name that's on the device, but it's an 80% chance that it's Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, or NCR. Why? Because they control about 80% of global payment terminals in 120 countries. In fact, here you can see Ingenico, which is the global leader, they have over 140 million terminals globally. Pax 110 million, Verifone 112 million. And Miracle Pay is now preloaded into these devices. Just like how Apple Pay became preloaded into these devices some years ago, you can now check out at a supermarket and you can just tap your phone if you have Apple Pay and it goes straight, makes the transaction in an instant. Now, Miracle Pay in their technology straight from our phones or with our Miracle crypto-enabled debit cards, whether it is a point-of-sale terminal, whether it is an ATM machine, you can now transact with crypto as seamlessly as if it was a regular debit card with fiat currency. It makes the instant translation for it. So now you and I are at this point. This is the opportunity that we have to own the payment rails of this new financial system with the first company of its type to bring this to the world. Now, surely Miracle is not going to be the only company, just like Visa and MasterCard are not the only credit cards. There's American Express and there's Discover, but there's always going to be one that holds the largest market share. And Miracle is coming to the market not just with the technology, but with partnerships of the 4 largest payment providers in terminals. And we're not even talking about online payment systems as well. And so both online and at point of sale in stores across 120 countries, our software, the Miracle Pay software, is now integrated into these systems. This is the beginning of a revolution that affords you and I an opportunity as a node owner to be able to access levels of income and financial security that if you were to really look at the figures, it will blow your mind. Right now, there are $360 trillion in global transactions done through these point-of-sale machines. And to each transaction, there is a fee that is paid, a transaction fee that goes to the credit card holders, the credit card providers. Now, we as node owners, our nodes are validating and securing and recording the transactions. We are the ones that get part of that transaction fee, and you'll get to see how that works in a minute.
You've probably heard the saying, if only I were early. Early to Bitcoin, early to Amazon, early to Tesla. Well, here it is again. But this time, it's not about hype. It's about owning the rails of a new financial system. Introducing CPU nodes, digital assets that earn daily from real crypto transactions happening worldwide. Every time someone pays with crypto, in-store or online, a small fee powers the network. And if you own a node, you get paid. These nodes are already paying every single day in a digital currency undervalued today, but set to explode in the months ahead. We've secured contracts with 4 global terminal providers, giving us access to over 100 million active merchants. And we're also integrated with major online retailers, processing billions each month. When even a small percentage of that volume transacts in crypto, node rewards skyrocket. The system is active. Payouts have begun. We're funding our aggressive expansion, not with Wall Street, but with everyday people like you. Together, we're decentralizing wealth by owning the new infrastructure of money. Timing is everything. Own a node now and earn every day for life.
Now that sounds like a far-fetched saying. Own a node and get paid every day for life. For life, yeah, for life, when you understand how this works. So we have seen that the world is at a point where there is a global shift taking place from the highest level of finance. We saw that there's a regulation in place that has now made all of this possible. We see that the world, on a large part, has not been ready for this shift, but along comes a company that has the infrastructure, it has the technology, and it has secured a network, a global infrastructure to be able to provide it. And because of the nature of this decentralized system, this is one way that we get to have ownership. One way we get to participate. There are many ways that we can all participate in this new tokenized world, but this is one way that is extraordinary. And the chain that it's running on is the first blockchain of its type that has come. Certainly technology will make it that it won't be the only, but it's the first, and that is an advantage that it has. And it's on this blockchain that you and I get to own these nodes. This is a blockchain that doesn't only run the Miracle ecosystem. This is a blockchain that is providing for businesses around the world who are now looking to tokenize their business, tokenize their assets. Companies all over the world are going to be looking to take their business on chain and have it run on a blockchain. Why? Because there are advantages that exist that they never existed before operating off chain. So when a person creates a new business, for example, and puts it on chain, gone are the days where you have to wait 3 to 5 years before you can break even and recoup your investment to start to make profits. What would have taken 3 to 5 years on chain takes 3 to 5 months. You're talking about exponential growth. Miracle Chain is built to provide the services, financial and tokenizing real world assets for companies all over the globe. When companies come to Miracle to be able to use their services, there is a transaction fee for everything that takes place on this chain. This is what you and I are becoming shareholders and stakeholders in this chain.
Imagine a blockchain that's more than just technology. A blockchain that pays you to help it grow. Introducing Miracle Chain, the world's first revenue-sharing blockchain infrastructure. Designed from the ground up to fuel real businesses, real rewards, and real people. From the very first day, Miracle Chain powers it all. Crypto payments, merchant solutions, commissions, automation, and the viral Cha-Ching app spreading across the globe. At its core, the Phoenix token, fueling every transaction, every tap, every swipe, every payment. Demand grows and holders win. And it doesn't stop there. The Mirix token turns every moment of activity into your opportunity. Stake Mirix tokens to unlock revenue sharing, early access to token launches, and exclusive perks. And for those who want to earn from every corner of the chain, stake 4,000 Mirix tokens to become a Miracle Guardian node. This isn't just another blockchain. It's an economic engine designed for mass adoption, built for global scale. Billions are already being made in crypto. This time, you're early. This time, you share the upside. Welcome to Miracle Chain, the blockchain that grows with you. The future of wealth now belongs to everyone.
I just love that statement. The future of wealth now belongs to everyone. That's not an exaggeration. When you come to understand this new tokenized digital economy that we're emerging into, that's a reality. It belongs to anyone. This is just one aspect of how we're going to do it. You saw that there are two different tokens that are native to Miracle Chain. The Phoenix token, which is what we are paid in that cryptocurrency for every transaction that takes place within the ecosystem, whether it be online, at a point of sale, or through businesses that are using the Miracle service. And then you saw that there was a Mirix token. Our node are producing for us two tokens that we get. Don't try to understand it all, but what it means, it's two things. It means two things for us. We are creating an extraordinary level of income that was hardly possible for the average person before. That's one. And the other side of it is that we are building financial security at the same time for the future in ways that was not possible before with these two tokens. And I'll explain that in a second. So, where do you begin? How does it start? We have to own the nodes. We have to become a node owner. This is what's available now. It's not going to be available much longer into the future. There are different types of nodes. that do different things within the Miracle ecosystem, but I'm talking about the CPU nodes that validate transactions that's taking place online at point of sale terminals around the world. It is $1,200 to own a node. It's a one-time purchase that pays you for the rest of your life because we now become shareholders of the blockchain, stakeholders in the ecosystem. We now are owners. We own the asset and we own it for life. These are packages because of the Bellator's anniversary. There is a special offer, which is why we're doing this tonight. We were going to begin again next year. But if you purchase one CPU node for $1,200, you will get 2 additional nodes for free, which means you get 3 for the price of 1. Now, someone asked me today about the value of these nodes, and I said to them, this ought to have been $12,000 for a node and not $1,200. And the fact that you're getting 3, it makes it $400 for one, which is absolutely, I mean, a giveaway is not even the word for it. But this is, you can select your package, you make your purchase. When you make your purchase, that is it. There are no hidden fees. There is no subscriptions. There's no maintenance fees. There's no renewal of anything to do. You own the asset for life. It pays you every day, 365 days a year, for the life that Miracle Technologies exist on this planet. Is how long it will continue. The offer, I believe, ends on December 31st. After that, this will no longer be available. And so you can speak to the referring partner about how you can go about purchasing your node. So, as I said, you're talking about earning income and building wealth. This is a combination that is very rare. Through owning a node, you are earning a portion between 10 to 30% of every transaction fee. So with all the millions of transactions that could be taking place across the globe using cryptocurrency, there is a 2% transaction fee. Right now, there's $4 trillion being held in crypto wallets around the world needing to be spent. If only a tiny portion of that, if only 3% of that came through Miracle Pay, and we were getting 10 to 30% of that, the income that we could potentially be earning, it is going to be more than what your salary could be in a year. And as the world adopts and it grows, and the world becomes more and more adopted to cryptocurrency, because the day is going to come where your salary is going to be in cryptocurrency. Why? Because all banks have to transact in it. And so as time goes by, it just becomes increasingly more income. When Bitcoin came out 16 years ago, or whenever it was, 2008, 2009, valued at just a few cents, it took many years for it to start to gain in value to where it is today. But Bitcoin did not have an engine to drive it. It did not have our Phoenix token has a global economic engine connected to everyday payments for everyday purchases connected to it. Think of what that could mean for us in what we will gain. Now, I tell you, numbers could be staggering, but here's the thing. We are earning this in perpetuity, meaning we will be paid this every day, nonstop, for the rest of our lives. And how based on how many number of nodes you have, you multiply it by the number of nodes. That's income. And that's income being paid when the world shop in stores and online, we are being paid for every transaction. That's mind-blowing. The other thing is, We are building long-term wealth and value daily by the Merix token. Our nodes are producing for us the Phoenix token and the Merix token every day. The Merix token is what builds lifetime equity for the future as the ecosystem grows. As it grows and as it becomes larger and more adopted across the globe, the more value goes into it, the more we are building that equity along with the company. And so through ownership, our daily earnings of the Merix token, it's creating long-term financial stability. Now we have the option to take our Merix token and convert it into usable currency as well. But what's happening, think about it. There is a supply of daily income coming in on one hand. And on the other hand, you're building another portion of wealth that's based on the overall value of the whole global ecosystem. So as a stakeholder, our daily earnings of the Merix token is creating an inheritance. See, we're not taking what we are earning every day to invest it into something else for an inheritance. We can do that and we ought to do that. But at the same time that we're earning, we're actually building financial stability, equity for the future, and an inheritance. I have never seen in all my involvement in the financial markets where you get to create on both sides. And if that were not enough, there is an optional referral program, which is why all the guests that we have on tonight is why you were here. Because there are those who may just want to be a node owner and just receive your passive income and just build your financial security for life. And that will be all well and good. But when you get something like this, and you know people who really need the help, because the world is going to adopt this by you and I. And through this optional referral program is how we're going to expand communities of wealth, because wealth really belongs to everybody now. And Miracle is the largest global system of its type that's offering this. So for every person that you refer that becomes a partner or an owner in the ecosystem, you get paid a referral fee, just like Amazon or other companies pay referral fees. But you also have you have access to 6 additional streams of income. And this is not like other referral-based programs where you have to constantly be recruited, where you have to be meeting monthly requirements of volumes and qualifications and subscriptions. It has none of that in it. So it's not one of your regular type of network programs at all. And of all the transaction fees that are coming in from global transactions, 20% of that goes right into the referral program to pay those who are part of the referral program additional income. The type of income that this is producing and that this will produce, now that the doors have been opened and that the world is ready, this is a shift that some of us are going to see it, some of us may not. But this is an opportunity that is unlike any that I've seen before. And so I invite you, take a close look at it, understand what's happening, speak to the referring partner, and to become an active BellatorLife partner, understand that your node assets, you own them for life. They're available, they're transferable, they're saleable. The earnings from your assets, they're not tied to a local economy, they are tied to a global economy. And it's being paid in perpetuity. That is for your lifetime. To purchase your node asset, you have to register an account. And you do that by requesting your referring partner's link. There is no cost to set up your Bellator account. Payments are best made with cryptocurrency because it's a blockchain platform. But other payment options are also available depending on the country of your residence. and you can speak to your referring partner. Just to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, it may sound like there's a whole lot going on here, but this is just simply our business. This is simply how we are spreading wealth to the world. Metaterra is our parent company with the governance and the oversight and the global growth. Miracle DeFi ecosystem is what's bringing decentralized finance and tokenization to the world, something that the world has accepted and ready for, but needed the wherewithal. And Bellator, which is under Metaterra, is simply the marketing arm that is taking this opportunity of community redistribution of wealth to the world. And this is how you're here, because there's some of us who have invested into being part of the Miracle ecosystem that choose to share it with the rest of the world. I have done that, and that's why you're here. And so with that, I'm going to conclude here. And let me just say this in the end. This is not for you, it's not about whether you are, getting involved or taking a chance or taking a gamble of something that may or may not happen. That's not this. This is happening whether we know it or not, whether we care to be part of it or not. So it's not taking a gamble and hoping that this will happen. It is about positioning yourself in it so that as it happens, you'll be one of the early adopters that get to benefit massively from this thing that is going to be shaping the global financial landscape. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. In fact, let me just stop sharing my screen here. I am also going to just stop the recording.